Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Lionel. I'm your host for LT Productions. If you are watching, I watch you watch. Today, we're covering the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. This is season 6, episode 14. I finally know what episode we're on. I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Please like this video. You can subscribe and leave your comments below. This will not be a long video. Not a lot of meat on the bones, but we're going to get through this as much as we can. Anyways, let's get into this week's episode. Alright, so this is the second day that the women are in Greece on their group trip. And the going theme, at least for half of this, well, I say about 35 minutes of this episode, is if Meredith is going to engage or not. For the most part, no, because of how she's feeling. I'm not going to go through everything because a lot of it was very... like, what are we doing on the trip? You know, they make remarks on Meredith's mood. When she gets up, she sees that the coffee maker isn't working, and she goes back in. I'm like, do y'all know Meredith? I don't know her like that. Y'all would know. Maybe she had an attitude or whatnot, because I'm like, so y'all harping on that, but maybe she's just a morning person and needs her coffee. Just saying. Of course, we know that Meredith was in the mood. Was in a mood. Then... we see later on Mary checks on Meredith. Mary, at this point, I think a lot of this is production push to try to get Meredith out of her mode. But since she's been here, we're still talking about this plane issue. And we moved on episodes ago, but we're still in this loop. It's like Groundhog Day with these jokers. And maybe I'll say something at the end of this recording, but yeah, Salt Lake City. You in danger, girl. Because what in the world? So Mary comes in and she's hearing Meredith say how she feels and all that. And Mary's like, what are you going to do? Because we got to still film. We still have stuff going on here. And it's kind of like you got to make it work. I understand as to what's happening right now, but we got to make this work. If you've seen the episode as of yet, you see that Meredith isn't really participating in anything. She gets separated into groups with, I don't understand it, because this is the thing, Angie or production. Meredith has asked Heather for a one-on-one and she won't give it to her. And you're saying she's disregarding you. She wanted to have a talk. And you're too busy trying to say that, oh, she's going to manipulate things. How can she manipulate? So you want back... That's something else I'm going to talk about. Oh, I'm glad. You want backup. But other people can't. And we'll get into that in just one second. So now, put them into a group with the people that she's the most uncomfortable with. That you already see that she's miserable about. It's Mother's Day. Meredith is also feeling a way about that. Some people think that she's just deflecting, so she doesn't really have to answer the hard questions. I can't say that that's not true. I think it is, and I also think probably Mother's Day. While Heather is going off again about how she feels, that Meredith don't really feel about her. Basically, Heather feels like, how dare you tell me that you won't be friends with me if I choose Brittany, and then you try to come back and be so nonchalant about it. Like, don't you know how deeply my feelings were hurt? Do I think for one second that Heather's feelings were deeply hurt? No. Do I think she was bothered by it? Yeah. Do I think that this stupid dramatics she wants... Anyways, on this, this Brenner thing, they want her, Meredith, to talk. And basically, Meredith said, I'm sorry about how you feel about this whole thing. Do I feel like with Meredith, when she said, if you're friends with her, I don't know how serious Meredith was, but I kind of just don't think that it was that too big of a threat. But since y'all are big on ice outs, maybe you took it that way, Heather. But obviously, she still wanted to be around you. Maybe she won't F with you like she has before, even though we hardly seen y'all F with each other. So, I'm like, okay. Meredith spoke in the heat of the moment, and for someone who always is so observant and it's just so this and that, da 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 da. Maybe she said it in the heat of the moment. Can you give her that, or it's just, oh my God, you're so disregarding my feelings and stuff? But you sat up there and begged for Jen Shaw's friendship. You sat up there and begged for Lisa's friendship for many years. But Meredith, oh my God, you really, I don't believe it, but whatever. Brittany can't relate to how Meredith feels about missing her children. Of course you can't. You are a bum-ass mom. That's all you are. You're pathetic. And then she said later on about, well, I was separated from my children for 3 years by your own devices, by your own decisions to put an eggplant in front of your children. That's because of you. Nobody knows who's Meredith's support system. She might fight so hard for her family because they are her real support system that she feels like she can get comfort in all of that. If she's already feeling a certain way on this trip, being separated from her children, she can't really talk to them like she would to help her get back into the game. I don't get why y'all just acting so nonchalant, like, oh my God, she's just so dramatic. Oh, they're just 22 years old. Again, Heather, you would throw your children out with the bathwater. Brittany, you wouldn't even bathe your child. So, okay, I can see it from your point of view, but at the same point, look at Meredith. She chooses not to be that forthright with you all because y'all are some weird ass itches. And she don't trust any of y'all. Probably Lisa, and probably Mary to a certain extent. I don't know why I'm on this so much. Maybe I'm trying to waste time to make sure I have some film time. Because Anyway, the girls go on 2 separate groups. And we seem to be having on every... One thing that I am not is someone that likes to see the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again. We got another cooking class. We have another adventurous type of activity. Didn't we just have like a wine tasting class when they went to Nashville? When Atlanta went to Nashville? There's nothing else that y'all can come up with as far as activities. And this is the most that you can do in your hometown. Well, not your hometown, but where your roots are, Angie. I'm not saying that these were bad, but I'm just kind of like, I think the donkey thing was kind of interesting for a second. But Mary, who participated, some people online are saying that Meredith and Mary have switched places as far as being the one outsourced and to themselves and not really participating. Because a lot of people were impressed that Mary actually got on these donkeys, even though she didn't even want to do it. She's like, there's too many sights. It's too gorgeous around here. What am I sitting up here riding on donkeys for? So Meredith took the scenic route because she didn't want to be around Heather, Whitney, and Brittany. I wouldn't either. But she came back to the table. They're supposed to be doing this cooking class. I didn't really see that much cooking, or at least teaching, but whatever. Whatever they had, I think it was probably good. Eggplant, meat with the sauce, all that good stuff. I think it's probably good. But anyways, the other ladies got to join in on the cooking and all that so they could have lunch. And they're still seeing that Meredith is not in the right place and all that. She says that I miss talking with my son. He's on a flight and I can't really speak to him. Heather says, well, we all signed up for this. You knew that we were coming here. Yeah, that still doesn't erase the fact. And you do make a good point here, Heather. That doesn't erase the fact at how Meredith feels. You can't do that. You can't say that. Lisa speaks up for Meredith and says what are the elephants in the room. Since Meredith won't really speak up, or she has said it and these folks are just acting oblivious as to what is going on. You made some very strong allegations, Miss Whitney, that you've been doing since the inception of the show. And I really think that your ass needs to be kicked. I can go on and say, I don't believe in violence, whatever. I think it's because of how you keep putting labels on folks, damaging labels on folks. You've been doing it since season 1, and nobody really checks you on it, and you get away with it. I've been saying it in my other videos. She finally apologizes about that, and that helps Meredith out as far as her mood and all that good stuff. But then Whitney goes in her confessional like, I shouldn't have said that, but that still doesn't make me concerned about my friend. 1, you're not her friend. 2, it now seems very backhanded because you still want to say this or whatnot. I would have said, I'm worried about you because of how you are behaving or something to this nature. You possibly could have given your concern as a friend after you apologized. I shouldn't have went this far. How you are behaving or whatever, however your moods are, it's concerning to me, and I'm reaching out to you as a friend. But you didn't do that. But it's good that you apologized. But all this fool-la-la friend crap, you're not a friend. So later on, they go back to their villas. I think it's villas. And they have a little pool party. Meredith is in a better mood. They're thinking that she's coming out there looking very stoic and stiff and stuff. But she said no. She had on this like blazer type thing with this short mini skirt. She took it off and she had her swimsuit on. They all, Brittany, Whitney, and Meredith, they had a pool race. Finally, she lightened up, all that good stuff. So they did warn Lisa, like, you need to back up and let Meredith say what she wants to say. Lisa said, that's my friend. I love her and I'm gonna back her up. Especially when there's more than one person coming after my friend. Why? Why would I just sit there? Later on, they get in the Sprinter van because they're gonna go out to the nightclub life. Mary said, I'm not going. I'm really tired. And Meredith, Mary has fulfilled her obligations, I think. Mary is also older than the other women. It's also different time zones. I think she's done all that she needs to do. On the Sprinter van, we find out that Brittany has trademarked high body hair. Angie takes offense to that because why would you do that? You didn't even come up with that. And Brittany's like, oh well, I did it, you know. You snooze, you lose. From that regard, yeah. I get it. I can agree to that. But you still didn't come up with it. And Andy's in her confessional like, why don't you come up with your own stuff? And you don't have anything. But ting, 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 I have an announcement. That's not yours. You're not even using that to your greatest advantage. You're doing it on the show to try to make a moment. Well, why don't you use that in some type of way, even if you can't really trademark it? So they get on that discussion when they get to the nightclub and all that good stuff. And then Brittany's like, well, I think you're just jealous of me. Are you jealous of my hair? It can't curl. She'll never make it as a housewife on this show, y'all. And I don't care if y'all feel any type of ways or feel bad for this girl because of how people treat her. She'll never make it. These clapbacks are so crazy. Or try to start an argument. But anyways, that's about it. Brown has done things with girls. We know Whitney has. That's about it, y'all. So I'm kind of talking, maybe I've wasted your time, but yeah, this episode gave nothing. I have been seeing online that there are rumors that they are doing a little shake-up, like possibly 3 new people are coming aboard, some people are stepping down as friend of, and we'll see. Y'all let me know what you got, because I'm not going to bore you any longer. I do appreciate everyone for coming. Thank you. Like, comment, subscribe, and until the next one, peace.